Have you ever noticed how some days, even the simplest things feel just a little harder? Maybe getting up from your favorite chair takes an extra moment, or your afternoon naps are longer than they used to be. Perhaps you've caught yourself wondering why your balance isn't as steady, or why sleep seems to slip away in the quiet hours of the night. These subtle changes can feel like just part of getting older, something everyone expects and accepts. But what if it's not just age? What if your body is quietly sending you messages that something deeper is shifting? It's easy to brush off these signs as just the way it is, but the truth is, these small hints can tell us a lot about our health if we take the time to listen. Ignoring them might mean missing a chance to gently reactivate your energy, strength, and confidence. And that's why this conversation matters. Because what seems like a small, normal change could be the key to living your best years with more vitality. In this video, we'll explore 8 subtle signs your body might be slowing down, and most importantly, simple, everyday ways to help wake it back up. You don't have to accept feeling tired or stiff as your new normal. Let's walk this journey together, step by step, toward feeling more like yourself again. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. You tire more easily in the afternoon. There's a quiet moment in the day, usually sometime after lunch, when the world seems to slow down. You sit in your favorite chair, maybe with the TV humming softly in the background or a book open on your lap. But instead of feeling restful, you feel drained. Your eyelids grow heavy, your body slumps, and it's as if the energy that carried you through the morning has simply vanished. It might happen more often now than it used to. Perhaps you've even started planning your days around it, avoiding errands after 2 p.m., putting off phone calls until the next morning, skipping an afternoon walk you used to enjoy. Maybe you've told yourself, well, that's just part of getting older. Everyone slows down eventually. But is it just age? Or is your body quietly telling you something else? What if afternoon fatigue isn't inevitable? What if it's not about growing old, but about how your body is processing, or struggling to process, energy? You see, as we age, a few things shift inside us that aren't always visible from the outside. One of those is how efficiently our body turns food into energy. After we eat, especially a lunch high in refined carbohydrates or sugar, our blood sugar spikes, and then drops. This crash can leave you feeling sleepy, sluggish, and foggy. Combine that with natural changes in metabolism and muscle mass, and suddenly your afternoon feels like wading through wet sand. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells, also become less efficient with age. They don't generate energy quite as easily as they did in your 30s or 40s. Add in reduced circulation, decreased hydration, and even subtle dips in hormones like cortisol and melatonin, and you've got the perfect recipe for post-lunch burnout. But here's the hopeful part. This isn't a fixed sentence. You're not doomed to feel drained every afternoon. Small shifts, really small ones, can make a surprising difference. Start with lunch. If you often have a sandwich on white bread with chips or a sugary drink, your blood sugar is likely on a roller coaster. Instead, try a plate with some lean protein, like grilled chicken or a hard-boiled egg, paired with fiber-rich vegetables or whole grains. Even a simple tuna salad with a side of roasted sweet potatoes can fuel you more steadily. Add a tall glass of water or herbal tea, and you're giving your body clean-burning energy instead of a quick spike and crash. Then there's movement. It sounds counterintuitive, but a gentle 5 to 10-minute walk after lunch, even just circling your backyard or walking to the mailbox and back, can boost your energy. It gets the blood flowing, supports digestion, and tells your body, we're not shutting down yet. You don't need to break a sweat. Just keep the body in motion. And let's not forget about hydration. Many older adults unintentionally drink less water, leading to mild dehydration, which can feel a lot like fatigue. Keep a water bottle nearby and sip throughout the day. A few extra glasses can do wonders for your alertness and clarity. Let me tell you about someone who made these changes. His name is Frank, a 72-year-old retired mail carrier from Ohio. For years, he assumed his afternoon crashes were just something he had to live with. He'd nap on the couch, miss his evening walk, and feel groggy until bedtime. But after talking to his doctor and doing a little experimenting, he made 3 changes. He swapped his usual white bread sandwich for a protein bowl with quinoa and chicken, started walking 5 minutes around the block after lunch, and added 2 extra glasses of water to his afternoon. It didn't happen overnight, but within a couple of weeks, Frank noticed a shift. He still took it easy in the afternoons, but he no longer felt like he was dragging himself through the day. He even started picking up his guitar again, something he hadn't had energy for in years. This kind of change is possible, not by overhauling your whole lifestyle, but by gently adjusting how you fuel your body and move through the day. There's no need for fancy diets or intense workouts. Just small, kind choices that honor the energy your body still has and help bring more of it to the surface. So the next time you find yourself dozing off after lunch, ask yourself, what did I eat? Have I moved today? Am I hydrated? Am I listening to what my body needs? Or am I simply chalking it up to old age? Because here's the truth. Fatigue isn't weakness. It's information. It's your body speaking in whispers, asking for a little help, a little care, and maybe a glass of water and a short stroll. You've lived through decades of change, challenges, and growth. Your energy may feel different now, but it's not gone. It's waiting, quietly, to be reawakened. So give it a chance. One step, one breath, one small habit at a time. You've got more strength inside you than you realize. And remember, slowing down isn't the end. Sometimes it's just your body's way of asking you to move differently. More gently, more mindfully, but still forward. 2. You lose interest in physical activities. You used to enjoy moving. Maybe it was gardening on Saturday mornings, walking the dog around the neighborhood, or dancing a little while you did the dishes. You might not have called it exercise. It was just part of your day, something that made you feel alive, useful, and connected. But lately, the desire just isn't there. The thought of going for a walk feels more like a chore than a pleasure. The gardening tools sit in the shed. Your sneakers, once worn regularly, now collect dust by the door. It's not that you're in pain. You're just not interested. And perhaps you've told yourself, that's normal. I'm getting older. It's okay to slow down. But what if the lack of motivation to move isn't just a natural part of aging? What if it's not laziness, weakness, or even a personality change, but a sign that your body and brain are out of sync? This drop in interest isn't just getting tired of exercise. There's something deeper happening, and it has to do with your brain chemistry, your energy systems, and how aging subtly shifts the way your body communicates with itself. Let's start with something called dopamine, a neurotransmitter often linked with motivation, reward, and pleasure. As we age, our dopamine levels naturally decline. That means the spark that used to move feel good may not be firing as strongly. You don't get that little rush after a walk or that uplifting feeling after cleaning the yard. So over time, your brain simply stops asking for it. On top of that, muscle loss, sarcopenia, can make physical tasks feel more demanding. Even if you don't realize it, your muscles may be weaker than before, which makes things like walking upstairs or standing for long periods more tiring. When effort increases and reward decreases, your brain files the activity under not worth it. And finally, if you've experienced sadness, grief, or loneliness, which many older adults quietly face, your emotional energy may be drained before your physical energy even gets a chance. But here's the hopeful truth. Even if your interest in movement has faded, your body's ability to benefit from it hasn't. Movement is one of the most powerful ways to restore the very systems that have gone quiet, including dopamine, muscle strength, and emotional resilience. And the solution doesn't start with running a marathon or signing up for a gym membership. It starts with something as simple as a movement with meaning. Ask yourself, what kind of movement used to bring you joy? Not exercise, necessarily, but joyful motion. Was it walking to your favorite diner? Tending to your roses? Dancing slowly in the living room with your spouse? That's where you begin. Not with rules, but with memory and emotion. You might try setting a timer for just 5 minutes. Walk around your backyard. Do a few gentle arm circles while seated. Even stretching your arms overhead while listening to your favorite song can gently reawaken muscles and signals that have been asleep. And it helps to give the movement a purpose. Instead of saying, I need to exercise, try saying, I'm walking to feel more steady on my feet, or I'm moving so I can carry my groceries without help. Tie the action to freedom you care about, not a number or a goal someone else set for you. Let me tell you about Marjorie, an 81-year-old from North Carolina. After her husband passed, she found herself staying inside more, barely moving beyond the kitchen and living room. Her daughter noticed that her spark had dimmed. No walks. No garden. No singing while folding laundry. So one day, her daughter brought over a little wind chime and asked, Mom, would you help me hang this in the backyard? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Marjorie agreed. She stepped outside. The air felt fresh. The movement was slow but steady, stretching her arms, climbing 2 steps, reaching up. It didn't seem like much, but later that day, she said she felt different. A little lighter. A little stronger. The next morning, she took her coffee out to the porch. Then the day after, she walked to the edge of the yard and back. Within a month, she had revived her rose bushes and added 15 minutes of movement to her day. Not because she had to, but because it gave her something back she didn't even know she was missing. You don't need a wind chime or a garden, but you do need a reason. And I promise, that reason is still inside you. If you've lost interest in physical activity, be gentle with yourself. It's not a flaw. It's not failure. It's a sign, a quiet one, that your body is ready for a new beginning. And it starts with one small, meaningful move. So today, open the curtains. Put on a song you love. Walk to the mailbox, or sway your hips while washing dishes. Don't think of it as exercise. Think of it as reclaiming a part of you that's still very much alive. Because even when the interest fades, your body still remembers. And it's never too late to move, not for fitness, but for life. 3. Your digestion becomes slower. You used to enjoy a good meal without thinking twice. Pancakes in the morning, a hearty sandwich at lunch, a comforting dinner with family. Eating wasn't something that needed planning. It was simple, satisfying, automatic. But now, food doesn't always feel as friendly. After eating, you may feel unusually full. Not the content kind, but the heavy, sluggish kind. You might notice bloating after even a modest portion. Or maybe you've started avoiding certain foods altogether, not because you don't enjoy them, but because you're afraid of what they'll do to your stomach. It's a quiet change, not dramatic enough to send you rushing to the doctor. But it's there. Meals that used to energize now leave you feeling slow, tired, or uncomfortable. And so you might say to yourself, well, this is what happens when you get older. The body just can't handle things the same way. But what if that's not the full story? What if slower digestion isn't just a side effect of aging, but a signal? A sign that your body needs a little extra help doing what it's always done. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. As we age, the digestive system naturally changes. The production of digestive enzymes, those tiny workers that break down your food, begins to decline. That means your body isn't processing proteins, fats, and carbohydrates as efficiently. Food lingers longer in the stomach and intestines, leading to bloating, gas, or constipation. The muscles of the digestive tract, especially in the stomach and intestines, also become less active. This reduces what's called peristalsis, the wave-like movement that pushes food through the system. Think of it like a conveyor belt moving more slowly than before. When that happens, digestion takes longer, and discomfort becomes more common. On top of that, many older adults produce less stomach acid, which can make it harder to digest protein and absorb important nutrients like vitamin B12, calcium, and magnesium. Ironically, this lack of acid can cause symptoms that mimic heartburn, leading many people to reach for antacids, which only worsen the problem. So no, it's not just age. It's a series of real, physiological changes. But the good news is, they're not beyond your influence. The key is to support your body gently. Not overhaul your entire diet overnight, but make small, meaningful adjustments that align with how your body works today. Start by chewing your food more slowly and thoroughly. It sounds simple, but digestion begins in the mouth. Taking time to chew breaks food down mechanically and gives your stomach a head start. Try putting your fork down between bites. Sip water throughout the meal instead of all at once. Next, consider smaller meals more frequently, especially if large meals leave you feeling bloated or uncomfortable. Instead of 3 heavy meals, try 5 lighter ones spaced throughout the day. This reduces the burden on your digestive system and helps maintain energy. Also, increase your intake of fiber-rich foods like cooked vegetables, oats, and berries, but do it gradually. Too much fiber all at once can cause gas, especially if your gut isn't used to it. And be sure to stay hydrated, as fiber needs water to do its job properly. You can also add foods that naturally support digestion, like ginger tea, yogurt with live cultures, or fermented foods such as sauerkraut or kefir. These help replenish good bacteria in your gut and promote a smoother digestive process. One of the most helpful habits: a short walk after meals. Just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement can significantly aid digestion by encouraging circulation and peristalsis. It doesn't have to be far. Just stepping outside, stretching in your living room, or walking down the hallway can help. Let me share the story of Tom, a retired fireman from Arizona, age 76. For years, he'd struggled with bloating and sluggish digestion, chalking it up to the price of getting older. After dinner, he'd often lie down in his recliner, only to end up feeling worse. But after learning about how movement and meal habits affect digestion, he made a few gentle changes. He began taking slow walks after dinner instead of sitting right away. He swapped out his heavy sandwich lunches for smaller meals, often grilled fish with steamed vegetables. And he started drinking warm lemon water before breakfast. Within a month, he noticed a change: less bloating, better regularity, and more comfort after meals. He told his wife, "I didn't know I could feel this normal again." That kind of quiet transformation is possible for anyone. You don't need to follow a strict diet or give up all your favorite foods. It's about working with your body, giving it the tools it needs, at the pace it prefers. And if certain foods still bother you, don't ignore them, but don't panic either. It's okay to experiment, to keep a little journal of what feels good and what doesn't. Sometimes, all your body is asking for is a bit of patience, kindness, and understanding. So if your digestion feels slower these days, don't think of it as a failure or a flaw. Think of it as a new rhythm, one you can learn to move with. Your body isn't giving up. It's adjusting. And with the right support, you can feel lighter, more comfortable, and more in tune with yourself than you have in years. 4. Sleep becomes more fragmented. It's 2:47 a.m. You open your eyes in the dark, confused for a moment. You turn over, fluff the pillow, close your eyes again, but sleep doesn't come. The house is quiet. Too quiet. The clock ticks louder than usual. And even though you know you're tired, your mind starts to wander. Thoughts drift in, about the kids, about the past, about nothing and everything at once. This isn't just one night. It's become a pattern. Falling asleep is fine. But staying asleep? That's the challenge. You wake up once, twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times a night. Sometimes for a bathroom trip, sometimes for no reason at all. And by morning, you don't feel rested. You feel like you've been working all night. You tell yourself, that's just how it is now. I'm older. Sleep isn't the same. And yes, there's some truth to that. But what if it's not just aging? What if these broken nights are your body trying to tell you something? What if there are things within your control? Small, powerful things that could help you reclaim deeper, more peaceful rest. Sleep changes with age, yes. But why? As we get older, our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. That means it's harder to stay in deep, restorative stages of sleep. You might drift into lighter sleep more often, the kind that's easily disrupted by noise, temperature, or even your thoughts. On top of that, changes in circadian rhythm, your internal clock, shift as you age. Many older adults become sleepy earlier in the evening and wake earlier in the morning. The result? You might go to bed at 9 p.m. but wake up at 3 or 4 a.m., long before your day needs to begin. There's also the role of health conditions. Even low-level discomfort from arthritis, indigestion, or restless legs can interrupt your sleep without you realizing it. Medications may also play a part. Some cause light sleep or nighttime waking as side effects. But perhaps most overlooked is the impact of routine and the environment. After retirement, many people have more flexible schedules, which is a blessing, but can also disrupt consistent sleep patterns. Staying up late one night, napping during the day, skipping daylight exposure, all these can throw off your body's rhythm. So no, it's not just aging. It's a combination of small, cumulative shifts, many of which can be softened or reversed with simple habits. Let's start with light. One of the best things you can do is step outside in the morning, even just for 10 minutes. Morning sunlight helps reset your circadian rhythm and supports melatonin production later at night. It's nature's signal to your body. The day has begun. Let's get moving. In the evening, create a winding down ritual. Turn off bright lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens. The blue light from phones and TVs tells your brain it's still daytime. Try sipping warm herbal tea, listening to soft music, or doing gentle stretches. Let your body know it's time to relax, not just collapse into bed. Keep a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. This may sound strict, but it's a kindness to your body. When your internal clock knows what to expect, it works better. And try to limit long daytime naps. A short rest is fine, but sleeping too long in the afternoon can steal sleep from the night. Let me tell you about Carol, a 70-year-old retired teacher from Pennsylvania. For months, she had trouble staying asleep. She'd fall asleep at 10 p.m., wake up at 2 a.m., then toss and turn for hours. She tried reading, drinking milk, even sleeping pills. Nothing seemed to help. Then one day, her doctor asked her a simple question: "Do you go outside in the morning?" She realized she didn't. She often stayed inside all day. So she began stepping onto her porch every morning with her coffee, sitting in the morning sun for 10 minutes. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. She also dimmed her lights after 8 p.m. and stopped using her tablet in bed. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she was waking up less during the night. Her mind felt calmer. The sleep wasn't perfect, but it was deeper and more refreshing. She told her neighbor, "It's like my body remembered how to rest again." Your body can remember, too. If you're waking up more often at night, don't blame yourself. Don't call it weakness. Instead, see it as a signal, a message that something needs care, not punishment. Your sleep may have changed, but it hasn't disappeared. It's still within reach. So tonight, before you go to bed, take a breath. Dim the lights. Read something gentle. Let the quiet be peaceful, not threatening. And if you do wake up in the night, be kind to yourself. Don't panic. Let your breath steady. Trust that your body is doing its best. Because restful sleep isn't just for the young. It's for the wise. For the ones who've lived long enough to know that healing often happens slowly, quietly, sometimes in the middle of the night. And with the right rhythm, the right light, and a little patience, you can sleep well again. Not just through the night, but through this chapter of life, gently, peacefully, fully. 5. You lose balance more often. It doesn't happen every day, but it happens just enough to make you pause. You reach for something on a shelf and feel a slight wobble in your stance. You step off the curb and your foot lands a little awkwardly. You stand up from your chair and have to grab the table for a moment, just to steady yourself. Maybe you've brushed it off, told yourself, "It's nothing. I stood up too fast," or "The floor is uneven." But deep down, you've noticed it. A shift. A subtle creeping sensation that you're not quite as sure on your feet as you used to be. And perhaps, without realizing it, you've started adapting. You avoid ladders. You take the stairs slower. You carry less at a time. Maybe you've even stopped walking outside on windy days, not because you're afraid, but because you respect what might happen. And that's wise. But what if I told you that losing balance more often isn't just a random side effect of aging? What if it's not about being clumsy or getting old, but about small internal systems quietly calling for your attention? Balance is a complex symphony, one that involves your eyes, your ears, your joints, your muscles, and your brain all working together in perfect harmony. And as we age, each part of that system undergoes changes. For starters, The vestibular system, located deep inside your inner ear, becomes less sensitive. This system helps detect motion, head position, and spatial orientation. When it weakens, your brain gets less accurate information about where your body is in space. Then there's proprioception, the sense that tells you where your limbs are without looking. As we get older, the nerves responsible for this become less responsive, especially in the feet and legs. That means you might not notice that your foot didn't land quite right until it's too late. Muscle mass also decreases over time, particularly in the core and legs, the two areas most responsible for keeping us upright. With less muscle to support us, recovery from stumbles becomes slower, and we're more likely to sway or stumble. Even vision plays a role. Poor lighting, reduced depth perception, or vision changes from conditions like cataracts can all contribute to instability, especially at night or on unfamiliar surfaces. But here's the important part. You can strengthen balance at any age. It's not about becoming a gymnast. It's about reconnecting the communication between your body and brain, and building just enough strength and awareness to keep you steady and confident. Start small. One of the best things you can do is practice standing on one leg, safely, next to a counter or sturdy chair for support. Begin with 5 seconds. Then try 10. Switch legs. Do it while brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. Over time, this simple exercise trains both your muscles and your nervous system to react and adjust more quickly. You can also try heel-to-toe walking, like walking on a tightrope, one foot directly in front of the other. This challenges your stability in motion and retrains your balance reflexes. Tai Chi and gentle yoga have also been proven to improve balance, coordination, and even reduce fear of falling. These slow, mindful movements help you tune into your body's signals and strengthen the small stabilizing muscles that keep you grounded. Another quiet culprit? Footwear. Many seniors unknowingly wear shoes that are too worn out, too loose, or too soft. Look for firm, supportive soles and avoid slippers that slide. Something as simple as better shoes can reduce your fall risk significantly. And don't underestimate the power of walking. Regular, brisk walks help maintain strength in your legs, hips, and core. They improve circulation, awareness, and posture, all crucial components of balance. Let me share the story of Eleanor, an 84-year-old from Oregon. She was active her whole life, raised 5 kids, worked in a library, and loved walking downtown. But over the last couple of years, she noticed more near falls. Once, she stumbled on a garden hose and it shook her confidence deeply. She started walking less, stayed inside more. Her daughter noticed and encouraged her to join a local Balance for Seniors class at the community center. At first, Eleanor was hesitant, but she went. They practiced standing on one foot, slow chair squats, and even tossing a ball gently while walking. 3 months later, Eleanor said something powerful. "I feel like my body is listening to me again." That's what balance work does. It helps your body respond quicker and steadier, and helps your mind trust your body again. So if you've noticed yourself reaching for walls, moving slower on stairs, or second-guessing your steps, don't ignore it, but don't be afraid either. These are signals, not sentences. They're your body's way of saying, "I need a little help staying grounded." And with a few minutes a day, you can give it exactly that. You don't need to move fast. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to move, intentionally, gently, and consistently. Because your balance isn't gone. It's just waiting to be rebuilt, one quiet moment at a time. You've balanced so much in your life: work, family, grief, joy, years of experience. Rebuilding your physical balance is just another part of that story. And you're more than capable. 6. You feel colder than usual. You're sitting in your living room, wrapped in a blanket, sweater zipped up, socks on, and still, you feel cold. The thermostat says 72. Your partner, maybe even the dog, seems perfectly comfortable. But your fingers are chilly, your toes are cold, and there's that quiet inner shiver that doesn't quite go away. It's not just winter. This happens even on spring mornings, even indoors, even under the sun. You start to keep a sweater in the car. You gravitate toward the seat closest to the heater. And part of you quietly wonders, is this normal? Is it just age? Or could something deeper be going on? The common answer people give, maybe you've said it yourself, is, "I'm just getting older. Old bones get cold." But the truth is, feeling colder than usual isn't just about age. It's a gentle signal that your body may not be regulating temperature the way it used to. So what's going on? As we grow older, our metabolism slows down, meaning our body burns fewer calories and produces less heat at rest. That internal furnace simply isn't working as efficiently. The result? We feel the chill more than we used to, especially in our hands and feet where circulation is already weaker. Body fat distribution also changes with age. You may have less insulating fat beneath the skin, especially in the limbs. And when that layer thins, your body loses heat more easily. On top of that, many older adults experience reduced circulation. The heart works a little harder to pump blood to the extremities. If your hands and feet are always cold, it may not be the room. It may be the blood not reaching those areas fast enough to keep them warm. There's also the possibility of underlying conditions. A sluggish thyroid, low iron levels, or even certain medications, like beta blockers, can cause or worsen that persistent cold feeling. That's why it's worth mentioning to your doctor, not out of fear, but because small tweaks might bring real comfort. But the story doesn't end there. You're not powerless against the chill. There are simple, comforting ways to warm your body from the inside out, without just cranking up the heat. Start by layering smartly. It's not just about wearing more clothes, it's about the right materials. Thermal socks, fleece-lined leggings under pants, or even a light vest under a sweater can make a bigger difference than a bulky coat. Focus on keeping your core warm, your chest, belly, and back. When your core is warm, the body is better able to send heat to your limbs. Another powerful helper? Movement. Gentle motion throughout the day helps stimulate blood flow. Walk around the house every hour, do slow stretches, and even clench and release your hands and feet. These small actions wake up your circulation and encourage warmth. Warm foods and drinks also play a surprisingly strong role. Starting your day with a bowl of oatmeal or sipping ginger tea in the afternoon doesn't just comfort your soul. It signals your body to activate heat production. Foods rich in iron and B12, like eggs, lentils, and spinach, support better circulation and help your body stay warm from the inside. And don't forget the power of touch and routine. A warm bath in the evening, wrapping yourself in a heated blanket before bed, or even massaging your hands with lotion can bring warmth both physically and emotionally. Let me tell you about Walter, a retired mechanic from Wisconsin, age 78. He used to spend his winters working in cold garages, never used to mind the chill. But over the last couple of years, even in his warm living room, he started feeling cold. Not just physically, emotionally too. The cold made him feel fragile, like his body was slipping away from him. His daughter gifted him a pair of wool-lined slippers and a heating pad for his back. She encouraged him to try 10 minutes of stretching every morning. He thought it was silly at first, but within weeks, he began to feel warmer, more awake. The physical warmth brought him emotional ease. "I felt like myself again," he said. "I didn't realize how much the cold was weighing on me." That's the thing about these little signs. They don't scream. They whisper. And if we listen with compassion, not judgment, we can respond in ways that truly bring us back home to ourselves. So if you've noticed yourself bundling up more than usual, if you dread cool mornings or can't seem to warm up at night, don't ignore it. Don't just say, "That's age." Say, "What is my body asking for right now?" And give it something gentle. A cup of soup. A walk in the sun. Thicker socks. A call to your doctor if needed. Because feeling cold isn't just physical. It can make you feel emotionally distant, like you're fading a little. But the warmth is still there. In your body. In your choices. In your memories and your resilience. You are not a fragile candle in the wind. You are a flame that might just need a little shelter, a little kindling, a little spark. And with the right care, you can feel warm again. Not just in your hands, but in your spirit. 7. Your skin becomes thinner and bruises more easily. It starts with a small mark on your hand. You don't remember bumping into anything, but there it is, a bruise, purple and tender, sitting there like it's been waiting to be noticed. Maybe it's the third one this week. You touch it gently, wondering, when did that happen? Maybe you've also noticed your skin seems different. Not just older, but more fragile. A scrape that used to heal in a day now lingers. The skin on your arms seems almost translucent in the right light, like thin paper. It tears more easily, bruises more often, and no longer bounces back the way it once did. And perhaps you've said to yourself, that's just thin skin. That's what happens at my age. But what if that's only part of the story? What if your skin isn't just aging, it's trying to tell you something? Skin isn't just the outer shell of our bodies, it's our first line of defense. And like every other part of us, it changes with time. After the age of 60, your body produces less collagen and elastin, the proteins that keep skin firm and flexible. Without that support, skin becomes thinner, less resilient, and more prone to tearing or bruising, especially in areas like the hands, arms, and legs. Blood vessels near the surface of the skin also become more fragile with age. This means even a light bump against a doorknob, a table corner, or even while gardening, can cause them to break, leading to what's often called senile purpura, or age-related bruising. And there's more. Sun exposure over the years can thin skin even faster. Decades of UV rays, even if you were careful, can break down the skin structure slowly, making it more vulnerable now. Certain medications, like blood thinners or corticosteroids, can worsen the problem. And if your diet lacks certain key nutrients, especially vitamin C, vitamin K, or protein, your skin might not have what it needs to repair itself properly. But here's the important truth. While thin skin is part of aging, easy bruising doesn't have to be your daily reality. There are gentle, effective steps you can take, not to turn back time, but to support your skin where it is, right now. Let's start with protection. Long-sleeved shirts made of soft, breathable cotton can help protect fragile skin from everyday scrapes without irritating it. When working in the yard, consider light gloves, not because you're weak, but because your skin deserves protection. Next, moisturize daily, ideally with fragrance-free creams that contain ingredients like ceramides, shea butter, or hyaluronic acid. Think of this not as pampering, but as feeding your skin what it needs to stay resilient and supple. Dry skin is more likely to crack and tear. Moisturized skin has a fighting chance. Also, consider adding vitamin C-rich foods like citrus, bell peppers, and strawberries to your meals. Vitamin C helps build collagen and supports healing. If your doctor approves, a gentle supplement might help too. But food is often the best first step. And don't underestimate the power of hydration. Drinking enough water keeps your skin cells plump and elastic. A simple glass of water with every meal can quietly change how your skin looks and feels. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Let me tell you about Ruth, a 79-year-old widow from Minnesota. She loved quilting and baking with her grandkids, but started avoiding it after developing frequent bruises on her arms. She said, "I felt like a peach that bruised if you looked at it wrong." She hated how it made her feel, fragile, vulnerable, and old in a way she didn't recognize. With a little encouragement from her nurse, she began wearing long sleeves while cooking and moisturizing her arms after every shower. She started eating more leafy greens, added a gentle vitamin C supplement, and even began doing a few light strength exercises for circulation. Over time, the bruises came less often. More importantly, she felt more confident, more like herself. "I realized it wasn't about hiding my skin," she said. "It was about caring for it, respecting it, the way it's cared for me all these years." And that's the heart of this message. Your skin tells your story. Every scar, every freckle, every wrinkle holds memory, resilience, and years of love, work, and life. And just because it's thinner now doesn't mean it's weaker. It means it needs gentler support, and maybe a little more kindness. So if you've noticed more bruises lately, if your skin feels delicate or unpredictable, don't ignore it. And don't be embarrassed. This is not about vanity. It's about comfort, confidence, and dignity. Take that extra moment to care for your skin. Put on the lotion. Wear a soft shirt. Eat the fresh orange. Protect what has protected you for decades. Because thin skin doesn't mean a fragile spirit. And bruises don't define you. They remind you that you're still here, still living, still adapting. And that's something beautiful. 8. You need a longer time to recover after physical effort. You spend the morning pulling a few weeds from the garden or rearranging some furniture in the living room. It doesn't feel like much while you're doing it. But by evening, your legs are heavy, your back aches, and the next morning, getting out of bed feels like climbing a hill. Maybe you used to recover from this kind of effort overnight, but now, it takes 2 or 3 days before you feel back to normal. Most people chalk it up to age, saying, well, I'm just not as young as I used to be. But what if the real reason isn't just about being older, but about how your body's repair systems are changing? As we age, our muscles naturally lose strength and take longer to heal after stress. The small tears that occur with activity, even light movement, take more time to repair. Our bodies also produce less energy at the cellular level, so it's harder to bounce back like before. But that doesn't mean recovery isn't possible. It just means it needs a little more care. One simple habit: drink water before and after physical activity. Stay gently active the day after, instead of going completely still. Try a short stretch or walk to help circulation and reduce soreness. Jerry, a 74-year-old from Tennessee, used to feel wiped out after basic chores. But after adding light stretching and better hydration, he found his energy returning faster. So be kind to yourself. Slower recovery doesn't mean weakness. It means your body is asking you to work with it, not against it. And when you listen, healing becomes not just possible, but powerful. As we age, it's easy to mistake subtle changes in our body as signs of decline we simply have to accept. Feeling tired in the afternoon, waking up in the middle of the night, losing interest in things we once enjoyed, these don't arrive with a loud announcement. They slip in quietly, often mistaken as just getting older. But here's the truth: aging isn't a signal to stop living, it's a signal to live differently. More intentionally. More in tune with what your body needs now. Each of the 8 signs we've talked about is your body's way of saying, hey, I need your attention. Not in fear. Not in defeat. But in hope. Because so many of these signs can be softened, reversed, or transformed with simple, gentle changes. Whether it's walking 5 minutes after lunch, drinking more water, stretching before bed, or choosing one better breakfast, small steps make a big difference. And you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to start. So ask yourself, which sign felt most familiar to you? Which one quietly nudged your heart? Share it in the comments below, and let us know one small step you're willing to take today. If this video helped you, please like, share it with someone you love, and don't forget to subscribe. You deserve to feel strong, steady, and fully alive, not just in your memories, but in your right now. Let's walk this path forward, together.